Hello, hello. This is Donna with another exciting episode of You Were Designed for Greatness. And I have a guest today that I'm really excited for you to learn more about what she does. What she does and who she is intriguing to me. When I connected with her in one of the women's online groups that I'm in, and I am excited to be able to share what she does and how she can help us be all that we can be and know that we were designed for greatness. So my guest today is Kendra. Kendra, say hello.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, Donna.
So tell me about you. What is it that I read online that is about you that intrigued me?
Yeah, sure. My name is Kendra Toothill, and I'm a holistic women's health therapist. I help women transform their well-being by working their physical scars. So I use a lot of clinical-based expertise and body-based wisdom to help women understand how important the physical scars are on their body and how they can use those physical scars as a tool and as a method to transform their body and mind.
I don't know of anybody else doing what you're doing. Isn't it kind of unique?
Yeah, that's a very, very good comment. I do not know anyone else who's doing what I'm doing either. I do know that a lot of other therapists will use scar techniques like manual work on the physical scars.
Mhm.
However, the way that I work, the system that I've created is a lot more in-depth and thorough. And so, yeah, I think that what I do is a really
I think
unique
it's,
perspective.
yes, very unique to think about the scars. I often in Vibrant Living in my coaching ministry and practices talk about our emotional scars, but we don't always see the connection between that and what is happening in our body. And to me, that's very intriguing to be able to think about and to explore a little bit. How did you get started in this?
Yeah, so just to touch on that comment just briefly, physical scars are a really amazing access point to get into all that stuck emotional energy that you're talking about. So when you're moving it with your hands or with your breath or with different types of movement practices, it helps to really move and like untangle and unknot all that emotional energy that you're referencing. So I kind of stumbled upon this practice long time ago. It was nearly a decade ago now. And I was working, I was working in a field setting. I was an athletic therapist working with hockey and rugby and recognizing that this was not the depth at which I wanted to work with people. So I started to take a big shift. I started becoming more of a clinical practitioner, working in a clinic and office. And at that point, I had a set of tools in my toolbox, so to speak, as the therapist lens, very Western modern medicine. And it wasn't really working at the depth that I wanted to. I wanted to work really deeply with people. So I started to evolve the way that I was working, also started to expand my own mind. And so while I was kind of building this thriving clinical practice, I was also in my own personal life kind of falling apart. So I was having all of these health challenges, everything, so many different things that are really common to women right now, like food intolerances, digestive issues, bladder and bowel problems, and chronic fatigue, adrenal issues and adrenal fatigue, anxiety. All of these things were going on, chronic pain, also very common, reproductive cycle challenges. And then on the emotional side, like I said, anxiety, but just relationship dynamics in the bin, really in the tube. Everything was kind of falling apart. It was bad.
That's a pretty long list.
Yeah, but at the same time that this was happening, I was having a really thriving clinical practice because I landed on how impactful scars were when I was working with them. And it was hitting this really deep note because scars do access that emotional energy so strongly. And it's so healing to untangle all that physical knotting as well, and restore physical function. So I had this kind of dichotomy going on. And this was back in 2015, 2016. And I really reached my kind of breaking point. And I just started to open and expand my kind of vision and curiosity into Eastern medicine and tradition, the philosophy and practices. And so I wrapped up all my life in Canada. I was living in Edmonton at the time And I spent about 10 weeks in Central America. I did a yoga teacher training, and that was really my turning point, really turning the light for myself, so I could develop the work that I wanted to with other people, so I could offer that out as a service. But really, I needed that deep healing real bad. So that was kind of the beginning. And then fast forward over these, 5, 6 or so years, now I work with women typically who are over 40, and I have an online clinical practice where I take them through these transformational kind of steps to really embody their body again, really feel connected, really have that inner trust so that they feel really fulfilled and full in their life.
I love how our journey of our own dealing with our own pain and things like that brings us to answers that we then are able to bring to others and impact others. You already had the passion to be able to help others. And then as you unpacked yours and seeking answers, then we find answers that we then can bring to other people as well. So what is your life like today?
My life from back then to now is incredibly different. I live in Costa Rica. I live in a small town called Uvita, Costa Rica. It's on like the southwest side of the country. It's beautiful. I look out just through my window and there's ocean and jungle and wild animals. It's amazing. So as a holistic health practitioner, I wanted to really embody and walk my talk. I wanted to slow down, harmonize with nature, get into just simple basics, meaningful, profound relationships, and just do the best I can to be the best version of myself that I can. So I work part-time now and then am out in this kind of beautiful nature landscape.
Yes. And so you must do most things virtually.
Yes. Yeah. So I do everything virtually now. COVID helped with that. I was ahead of the curve a little bit because I lived in the UK for 2 years. So I started my online practice kind of 2018-ish. So I got a little jump on the whole online avalanche that happened during the pandemic. But it's been a really nice process to be online because it's actually a much more confidence building practice as a client because you're doing everything yourself. And so I feel much more like a guide rather than someone kind of doing all the things to the people. It's actually a much more beautiful relationship that way. So it's been great to be online.
Awesome. So what is it that you would like women to hear today? What would you like them to take away from our conversation today?
The thing that strikes me, one of the reasons why I work only with women is because women are amazing. They have this incredibly innate capacity to connect the dots of many different, life situations and circumstances and what they're feeling in their body. And at the same time, we also have this kind of heaviness where we feel like we can get stuck easily. And we feel like we can be very heavy with emotion kind of baggage. And I always tell women that the scars that they have on their body are transformational hotspots. They really give you the answers that you're looking for. Because like you said, it's kind of a rare thing to think about. Like the scar really is holding all of your physical and emotional kind of energy stuck and strangled in there. And so when you can recognize that, it gives you this beautiful lift of encouragement and motivation and hope that not only do you have the answers that you're looking for your health journey, but you can impact it on your own. You can make these great leaps with just some simple guidance. And that is it's so amazing working with women because you give them like an inch and they take like 10 miles with it.
Yes.
So it's always so inspiring for me to just hear every woman that I work with has a really unique, special story that encourages me along the way.
Awesome. So what if you are feeling those kind of emotions, but I really don't have any physical scars?
Yeah, if you don't have any physical scars on your body, that's awesome. That's better than not. There is still ways to look at your life, like look at your timeline, as I call it, and see where things have started, like really recognize and realize the kind of cooking point where everything kind of began. And then there's a spiraling effect out through your life. And when you can recognize that and really feel that deeply and recognize how everything else kind of came from that, then you can start working. Then you're starting to get answers, and that already starts creating a solution or a path for you.
Awesome. Well, that sounds amazing to unpack. It's a little bit for people, for me to understand when I've not always thought about like that, because you've been on this journey for years and unpacking all of this. So how would people get in touch with you if they want to discover more?
Sure. My website is theradiantlyalivewoman.com. I also have a Facebook group that is the same, The Radiantly Alive Woman. And this is a way that I have a 30-minute free consult. If this is something that you're interested in, we can just engage back and forth in my Facebook group. These would be the best ways to ask questions or just begin a conversation.
That sounds wonderful. Any closing thoughts and comments you'd like to leave?
I have just that real desire to make sure that women know that they have the potential to transform and change their life. I just feel like I need to just pull it out of my heart and spread it everywhere. It's so important that stuckness that you're feeling is what all women at some point in their life feel, and it doesn't need to keep you stuck. It's an opportunity for you to grow and evolve. So just to restate that point again.
Awesome. So if you would like to get some more information about Kendra and what she does, check out her Facebook group, check out her website. We'll put the links in the show notes for you to be able to access easily. Kendra, thank you for coming and sharing your heart today.
Yeah, thank you so much, Donna.
Another great guest here on You Are Designed for Greatness. And if you today are finding yourself feeling like there's pain in our past that just keeps bugging you, my program, Turning Your Baggage into Luggage, I have free workshops where you can learn a lot of tools, and also a group and that be able to support you. So the best thing for you may be to schedule just a consultation call with me and to see what resources are available. If the things that I have are not the best fit for you, I will connect you to what is. I want you to know you were designed for greatness. You have a purpose, and it is not limited to what has happened to you in your past. You are more and greater and stronger than you have even imagined. So I wish you the very best. I wish for you to know this deeply, and I look forward to talking to you. Schedule a call. Let's chat, grab a cup of coffee or tea, and let's connect and see how you can be the absolute best version of you can be. Until next time, this is Donna saying, have an amazing day and live and love vibrantly. Bye for now.